Hi, my name's Danny. I'm a team leader for Revive UK. Today I'm carrying out a repair on a Maserati Levante. It's a door repair. So first things first, we need to find the paint code to match the colour. So I'm just going to mix this first mix up, do a spray out card of it, and the recommended shade is the red shade. So I'm mixing the colours up on the scales, making sure that they're all accurate to what's on the app on the phone. The final part of this process is adding your activator, which is 10% of your mix. So I'm just about to mix some clear coat up and then compare it to the body. So this is my first spray out card of the first shade that I've done. We're about to go and compare it to the rest of the vehicle to make sure the colour's okay. If the colour's not okay, we'll try a different shade, which I think would be sufficient. So I'm just about to sand the damage out. Everyone has their own processes. I'm just going to use a bit of 320, 500, then 800, just to sand the damage out. And then after that, we'll prep the rest of the door. So I'm just about to mask up the edges of the adjacent panels, just so we don't get any scratch marks or anything on them whilst I'm prepping the door. Ready for primer and then paint. You can use foam edge or transition tape. I use the foam edge, and obviously you can paint up to it and leave a softer edge, and then you just flat the edge back. So we've just masked up ready for primer. Obviously we're going to go through the light dusty coats with the primer, drying it with the heat gun between coats. Then once we've finished that, we're going to put the heat lamps on it to get it nice and dry, demask it, and then on to the next step. I'm just using a 800 grit sandpaper on the soft end just to flat my primer back, get it nice and smooth, get rid of any rough edges, and then obviously onto prepping for paint. I'm just about to put my heat lamps on the door to get the door nice and warm, so my paint flows out nicer. So now I've got some heat into the panel. I'm just going to do one final clean with a tack rag to make sure there's no dust, no dirt on there, and then we can get straight into the painting. I've got the primer covered with the base coat. I'm just going to get my colour check light just to make sure that it's definitely covered and make sure we've got no primer coming through. We've got the base coat on, we've got the heat lamps, getting some heat into the panel, ready to put the lacquer on. The heat just helps the lacquer flow out and put a nice finish on there. You should put two coats on. We call it a grip and a rip coat and a rip coat. You put a semi-wet coat on first, and that just helps the wet coat and a nice finishing coat grip and adhere to the panel. So that's it, we're all dry now. So I'm just going to cool the panel down before I start flattening it, ready for it to be polished. Now we've got it all flattened back, all the little bits of dust and foreign objects are now come out of it, and we're just getting ready to polish it all back up, make it nice and shiny and like new again. I've just polished the flatting marks out, got it nice and glossy. I'm just about to demask it, then I'll wipe the compound off, ready for a refinement. Then we'll go over it and refine it with a polish. We'll tidy up any edges where there's any polish got in between the door shuts and just make it look nice and presentable for the customer. And that is a smart repair on a door done. I'm just going to go and speak to the customer to make sure they're happy with it, and then we'll be on the road.